What's up? It's your girl Anna Talks Wrestling here. Welcome to my channel. Lace up your boots, hit the subscribe and like button, and let's get ready to dive deep into everything pro wrestling. Today we're going to be talking about the top 6 men and women most likely to win the Royal Rumble this year. So get ready, this is going to be a fun one. Let's start off with the men. First up, we have to add the ultimate fan favorite, the man we saw in the final 2 at the last Rumble, but unfortunately couldn't get the job done due to other plans that WWE had. That's right, we have the voice of the voiceless, the rebel himself, CM Punk, who has never won a Royal Rumble and who's looking to finish his story of finally main eventing WrestleMania. And of course, if you know the famous pipe bomb from 2011, you know that was one of his biggest problems when he was leaving the company. So let's not forget that. And let's also not forget that the wise man, Paul Heyman, still owes CM Punk a favor. Is he going to potentially help CM Punk win the Rumble? Now, I would definitely be into Paul Heyman eliminating somebody, but the chances of that happening is slim to none. But I'm definitely curious as to why on the last episode of Raw, Punk said, and I quote, he might call in a favor or two after he just went off saying he's going to win the Rumble no matter what it takes. Either way, I would say this is what the majority of the fans want to see, and also the one who should most likely win according to the fans. And if he does win, he will finally get his main event at WrestleMania. However, I don't know if it will be for a world title or not, given that I do believe Cody Rhodes has other plans set for him with WrestleMania, if you know what I mean. That being said, I can see him facing Seth Rollins instead. What it should be for is the World Heavyweight Championship. Whether it is or not, that's a different story. Next up, we got the man who is in charge of it all. That's right, we got the final boss, The Rock himself. Now, we cannot rule out the chances of this happening. And if it does, I could definitely see him coming out at number 30 to have an ultimate fan pop with his entrance, ending the Rumble with a shake from the crowd. If he does win, this would be the largest gap between a Rumble winner, where The Rock last won it in the year of 2000. That being said, I for sure think if he wins, The Rock will main event WrestleMania, no doubt about it. But the real question here is if he faces the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, or if it's going to be the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Up next, we have the most justified heel, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. Now, Drew here is doing some of the best work of his career right now. Not only is he compelling, but his passion and emotions right now are at an all-time high, which sitting here as a fan, I can tell you, I definitely feel it. Which means he's doing an extraordinary job as a heel right now. If he does win the Rumble, which if you ask me who truly deserves it the most, this is definitely one of my top guys that I'm most drawn towards winning. And the man who's looking to finally get that true WrestleMania moment, I mean, how could you not root for him? He won in 2020, but unfortunately it was during the COVID era, the 2020 pandemic, where no fans were allowed to be there to cheer him on and celebrate his victory. Someone who's been deemed the chosen one and then had a massive downfall and then came back up and redeemed himself to become one of the best to ever do it. I mean, that's someone who deserves it. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't always a Drew McIntyre fan. It wasn't until this heel work he's been doing that really drew me in. So if he does win, he should 1000% get a WrestleMania main event for a title shot. And again, I don't see this being Cody Rhodes, who will be walking into Mania as the WWE champ most likely. So it will have to be for a World Heavyweight Championship, maybe against Gunther, given that he's still holding it by the time WrestleMania comes up. Although I do think he should have a different opponent than Gunther, someone like Seth Rollins or CM Punk, if this ended up being the case, just because I feel Drew McIntyre and Gunther isn't the main event we need. We need something bigger. Next up, we have the Visionary, the Revolutionary. We have Seth freaking Rollins. Now, if you ask me, this is another one of my favorites to win the Rumble. I truly believe his character isn't fully being appreciated right now. To me, the WWE isn't giving what he deserves. First off, this is one of the best characters he has ever done, one of my favorites, and the crowd absolutely loves him right now. I feel as if he's definitely being overlooked by the company, and if he were to win the Rumble, you already know all the fans would be singing his song. Someone like that should definitely win. And an underdog, everybody wants to see win. I mean, that's amazing in itself. And it would definitely set up a perfect opportunity for Seth Rollins to eliminate CM Punk, ultimately in that moment feeling as if Rollins is taking away Punk's dream to main event WrestleMania. But then the feud gets so heated that they have no choice but for Rollins to main event at WrestleMania against CM Punk, where the crowd will rally behind CM Punk, the ultimate babyface, to win his first and only WrestleMania main event. I mean, what better heel work is there for Rollins to try to do it by snatching Punk's dreams away from him? Next up, we have the man who is in his final run, John Cena. The last chance to make history, such as tying Stone Cold Steve Austin's record of the most Royal Rumble wins at 3. The interesting thing here is that John Cena can not only tie Stone Cold's record, but he could also go on to break the record of the most title reigns, where as of right now, he's tied with the Nature Boy Ric Flair at 16 times. So knowing this information, if Cena does win the Rumble, I'm honestly not sure if he will main event WrestleMania due to the monster roster we have right now. However, I could definitely see him challenging for one of the world titles at WrestleMania. Now, of course, if it's Cody Rhodes, that will have to main event WrestleMania. However, I don't think that's the route that they will go. I could definitely see them having Cena go for the World Heavyweight Championship, since he's never held this new title. He did, however, hold the old one, but either way, this is a title he's never got his hands on, so I could see him challenging whoever's holding the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And I truly believe it's going to be Gunther entering into Mania as the World Heavyweight Champ. So if Cena does win, this is a direction I could definitely see them going with him. Last but certainly not least, we got the original tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns, who, if you think about it, has had everything taken away from him. His title, and even at one point he lost the bloodline support. So this is someone who's looking to take back his throne and be the top guy of the company again. And if he were to win the Rumble, I do think he should main event against The Rock at WrestleMania. I mean, this match speaks for itself, so it definitely doesn't need a title on the line. So again, if he does win, this is a direction I can see them taking it. I don't think WWE should do this because a match this big needs more time to build up. You know, before they go face to face at WrestleMania, and seeing how these two barely even show up, they definitely need more time from now to WrestleMania. I'd rather The Rock enter the Rumble at number 30 and eliminate Roman Reigns to steal his main event spot and the title shot at WrestleMania. So that way, The Rock, the final boss, can go on to face the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, which is the story everyone wants to see happen due to this past year with the final boss in the Cody Crybabies. I mean, what happened to that story? Where did that even go? Are they friends now? I'm so confused. Either way, I could definitely see them having The Rock eliminate Roman Reigns. Where the storyline will head, that's up for debate. That being said, let's give some honorable mentions here. I mean, first off, we gotta mention my boy Sami Zayn. Someone who has been living under the shadows of the Bloodline and Roman Reigns. I mean, this man needs his own moment for once. Let's be real, Sami Zayn is far too good to be living under the shadows of someone else. This man needs a moment, please. Next up, we have to mention Randy Orton, returning after an injury. And I mean, everybody loves Randy Orton. Take a main event spot or even a title shot. This would be really good for Randy if he's able to do this. And I don't see anybody really being too upset about it because it's Randy Orton. And last but not least, let's also mention Jey Uso. I mean, this speaks for itself. We all know that Jey Uso has an incredible pop from the crowd right now. I mean, everyone is loving him and his Yeet celebration. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that celebration after a Royal Rumble win? Do I think it's likely? Probably not. But definitely an honorable mention for this year's Royal Rumble. That leaves me with the men's Royal Rumble. Now let's go on to talk about the women's Royal Rumble and the top 6 most likely to win. First up, we have Nikki Bella. Now I know this may catch some people by surprise. However, she has teased her return to the ring. So I definitely believe this means she will be entering the Rumble as a surprise entry, hopefully returning. Now, Nikki Bella has never won a Rumble, and she is a pivotal wrestler in the women's division and its history. She is definitely someone I could see the crowd loving and the fans have a major pop for. So where I think this could lead to if Nikki Bella wins is WrestleMania against Tiffany Stratton for the women's championship. I mean, this would first off bring Tiffy time to the next level, and this would be an amazing match and would change things for the better in the women's division, honestly. Both of these women are phenomenal in the ring and on the mic. I mean, could you imagine the promo battle between these two? That would be probably pretty epic. The WWE would be wrong not to set this up if the opportunity presents itself for it to happen. Next up, we have the man herself, Becky Lynch, someone who will make a massive return. The WWE Universe, the crowd, the fans, the IWC are gonna go nuts if they see Becky Lynch return. Even if you're just a casual fan or diehard, everybody wants Becky Lynch back. We all miss her. We want to see her back. One of the best women to have ever done it in the ring, on the mic. Could you imagine the crowd jumping on their feet once they hear Becky Lynch's music go off as she enters? I mean, you know what? Have her come in at number 30 and then have her win the Rumble. Could you just imagine that? I mean, that has to be one of the best, and I repeat, one of the best winners in the women's Royal Rumble history. Now, where would this lead her to? Definitely a WrestleMania match for the title shot. Now, it can be against someone like Rhea Ripley, but I could also see her facing someone like Tiffy Stratton. Either way, Becky winning will be a crowd favorite. Put her in any match. Everyone's going to love it. I mean, she will be the first and only 2-time winner of the Women's Royal Rumble. This will make history. Next up, we have the queen herself, Charlotte Flair. Not only would she be making an epic return into the Rumble, but this would be a perfect opportunity for her to try and take her rightful place back in the women's division. By winning this Rumble, she can go on to have a match at WrestleMania for the title. We've already seen Rhea and her face each other, so I don't think that's the route they would take for Charlotte. But I do think 1000% she should be facing Tiffy Stratton, and this would be one of my favorite outcomes and probably most of the fans' favorite outcomes for sure for the Women's Rumble. So you know what? Let's make that happen if it's possible. Next up, we have Liv Morgan. Now this is someone who has lost her title not too long ago to Rhea Ripley, but we've already seen that feud one too many times. So if Liv Morgan does win, I definitely think that she should go for the other title, which Tiffany Stratton is holding. This would also be a great matchup. Honestly, Tiffy has a good amount of options due to how amazing she is in the ring and on the mic. And this would definitely be a good way to bring Liv Morgan back on top. Again, she is definitely still in her prime. She's not even close to being done. So if they have Liv Morgan win, I'm not 100% against this. It would also make it her first Royal Rumble win. So again, definitely a big achievement for Liv Morgan to add on her list of things that she has accomplished so far as a WWE superstar. Okay, last but certainly not least, we have one of the biggest returns that could happen in the women's division in history in the Women's Rumble, and that is Alexa Bliss. Everyone's been talking about her. Everyone wants to see Alexa back and ready to go. She's one of the best of this era in the women's division and far from being done. And to be honest, a match between her and Rhea Ripley would make an amazing WrestleMania match for the title. We haven't seen those two face each other yet, so this would be a great moment and opportunity to make an incredible feud for Rhea Ripley. Now let's move on to some honorable mentions for the women. First up, we got Io Sky. Now for me personally, this isn't very compelling. I'm not sure why she seems to be a fan favorite to win the Royal Rumble. I mean, she does have the charisma and in-ring skills, but I'm sorry, she's just not someone I really care to see win. I just feel like there's definitely some better options for Rumble winners in the women's division. I'm not saying she can't ever win a Royal Rumble, but it definitely doesn't feel like this is her year. Next, we have to mention Bianca Belair. This is just an obvious one. Everyone would love to see her win and become the first woman to be a two-time Royal Rumble winner. And it's Bianca Belair. I mean, come on. The chances of her winning is pretty high. And this would definitely bring Bianca out of the shadows and back on top once again, since she hasn't really had any big feuds going on for her right now. And then lastly, we have Jade Cargill. Now, she's someone who really could add some heat to the women's division. I mean, she is just a beast, an incredible athlete, an incredible wrestler. I could definitely see them going this route to have her win, but I definitely think she still has some time to build her way up before she can be a Royal Rumble winner. However, we also don't know who attacked her, and I feel like they need to capitalize on that. So I highly doubt that this would happen with her winning the Royal Rumble, but WWE does love her, so we can't rule it out entirely. That being said, which one of these men and women do you think is most likely to win and least likely to win? And who's someone that should be on the list that I didn't mention? Let me know. And if you enjoyed this video here, please like and subscribe for more wrestling content with your girl Anna.